Folks, it's been a little bit. I don't remember when the last one of these we did, maybe 2.5 months ago. Uh,
Wow.
Good bad movie review. Murr picked an Amazon Prime special starring John Cena, Zac Efron, a few others. I watched it. Great movie. Murr, I will say no more and allow you the opportunity to do your Dr. Phil slash meets, famous guy promo for Ricky Stanicky.
Okay, so yes, it is good bad movie review time. And I'm looking it up on Rotten Tomatoes right now. Though the reason I review this movie is because on Rotten Tomatoes it has a 47% critic score, yet a 72% audience score, which makes it straight down the line a good bad movie. Ricky Stanicky, yeah, like Wes said, stars John Cena. Also has William H Macy in it.
It does.
Andrew Santino, stand-up comedian.
Yep.
Zac Efron. I don't know who the black guy is, unfortunately. I'm sorry, black
His
guy.
name's Wes.
I don't know who that guy is either. His name is West, though. That is true.
But so here's the basics of the movie. So these kids, they get into they try to do the fire poop bag as kids. End up burning the guy's house down. This is the first 5 minutes of the movie, so I'm not giving anything away. They're like, "Fuck, man, we're gonna get in big trouble. What are we gonna do?" They find some shorts. They're like, "Write a name in it." What name we write in it? I don't know. Writes Ricky Stanicky in the shorts. Cops find the fucking shorts. They're like, "Figured it out, guys. I don't know who this Ricky Stanicky kid is, but when we find him, he's going down." Boom. Credits start to roll, and then the rest of the movie is basically this. These three friends have gotten away with everything they've ever wanted to get away with by using this alibi known as Ricky Stanicky, but Ricky Stanicky obviously does not exist. Life events happen. The family's like, well, this is a perfect time to finally meet that legendary Ricky Stanicky. What do? You hire John Cena, an actor, so to speak, to come play Ricky Stanicky. Well, when a guy doesn't love his life and he needs to be someone he's not, why doesn't he just become the person that he was hired to play? And hilarity ensues. I want you to watch the movie, so I don't want to give away too many treats here, but it's a good bad movie because I don't know what fucking critics are looking for anymore. Did you guys watch it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Watched it today.
Did you guys enjoy it?
Yeah.
100%.
Thoroughly.
Yeah.
Okay, so before
Yeah.
I continue with my, diatribe on what Ricky Stanicky is, Wes, what's your take on Ricky Stanicky?
So the one thing I noticed, and the one thing that bothers me about some of these slapstick, if you want to call this movie a slapstick comedy, kind of is, the whole, again, if we're not trying to ruin the movie, the celebration,
Ruin it a little bit.
the celebration where Ricky needs to come, John Cena, aka Ricky Stanicky, needs to come to the party and introduce himself. He's done all this homework. He's done all this stuff. From the beginning to the end of that, producers and directors in these types of comedies have done comedy of errors that are one. I think one, make me uncomfortable because they're not realistic. This movie isn't 100% realistic, but two, they're so predictable. And I felt in that scene, especially like when the other actor shows up, he goes like, "Wait a minute, I know that guy." I'm like, "Oh shit, we got to get him out of here." And it turns out he just knows him from
a
watching him
commercial.
in a Red Robin commercial.
He's so
And then when
he's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's like, "Oh my God, I know that guy." And they're like, "How the hell does he know him?" He's like, I don't know. They're both fucking actors. But again, that's just a small tidbit of everything that happened in that I kept anticipating that this is going to be the comedy of errors that leads to, like, the dumb crescendo, and then their cover's blown, and it didn't happen. They put him in a cab, and they're like, God damn, that was amazing. Here's some money and a little extra because you did such a good job.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. Because I said at some point in the movie, I was like, "Oh, I'm ready. I can't wait to see it like all come undone." And like, you know what I mean? That comedy of errors, like everything just lines up perfectly for them to not pull it off. And like, yeah, it went in a different direction than that, I think. And that was cool. I like that.
Yeah.
Well, not just
The
that.
whole that, and William H Macy plays a great role, by the
Oh,
way.
absolutely.
Very
Oh,
underrated.
always. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, he was almost like he was that key that they needed. One, he was an acting name that they needed to like sell the movie, I'm sure, to fucking Amazon. But the other thing too was like he took the part that he was playing as serious as he gets. And his
Yeah.
and his ailment, shall we say, in the film was just amazing. And every time you think that Ricky's going to sell them down the river, which by all means he should. They're dicks. They deserve to be fucking sold down the river. He never fucking does. Ricky is the friend that they always wanted. And John Cena plays that fucking role so goddamn well. John Cena is the modern day Leslie Nielsen. He plays a straight man to comedic perfection, in my opinion. And I don't see how you don't give this guy his fucking due. 10 years ago, I would have laughed at you for fucking saying, I'm going to go watch this John Cena movie. Now, I laugh at you for fucking mocking a John Cena movie. Homeboy is a fucking, like, he is a sleeping giant of a fucking comedic actor. And if you sleep on this fucking movie because you think it's not going to win any awards in any category across any fucking award show ever. But what are you doing? If you're going to watch Oppenheimer, you're going to fucking almost like you're going to feel emotions of some kind that maybe your body has fucking sealed off from the world. But if you're going to watch Ricky Stanicky, you're going to try to laugh. That's what you want to do. And it fucking accomplishes that fucking mission. So I don't know what these critics are looking for when they rate these movies. And it's sad because people used to look to critics to find out what to watch. Now I find myself, based on just this exercise that Wes has put us through for good, bad movies, I now find myself looking for movies that critics have reviewed poorly.
Yeah.
Only to surprise myself by something I never watched because I was told I wasn't supposed to. Ricky Stanicky meets that category, in my opinion.
Yeah. The two times, or actually, well, one when they try to get him fired, and then he says, I noticed the air dicks a lot. I'm going to tell him. And they're like, I think you should tell him. I think you should go to his office and tell him right now. And then the couple instances where like they corner him, they talk to him, they basically say this has to end. You know, when he gets hired and gets a $250,000 salary, and there's always like you're not fucking real, man. He's like, well, you know, I beg to differ. I'm here, and it turns out like he did. You know, the only thing, the whole Zac Efron's kind of shady past where he had an abusive father and things like that. They tried to incorporate it, and I don't really remember that being a big part of the movie. But at the end, you know, Christ, it turns out he wasn't Ricky Stanicky, but he is, and everyone loves him, and he's still hired, and he's now their friend. It's wow. I mean, that's not realistic, but funny.
And John Cena's, or whatever, I don't even know the name of the actual character, but like
Rod or
John Cena's backstory is stupid, and that was, honestly, that was the worst part of the movie. He's basically a Las Vegas lounge singer who takes modern
Atlantic
pop
City.
Atlantic City. He's a lounge singer who takes modern songs and pornorizes them.
Dude, they're amazing. I would watch that show.
I would.
If I was in Atlantic City, I would get tickets to that show.
And I enjoyed him like through the. It's only a couple scenes, but it's a road to recovery when they pick him up at the airport, and he's oh, he's like, is someone cooking lobster? No, the guy who helped me off. Like, what guy? The guy help me off the plane.
No,
it's not what it looks like.
When he's at the party and he does like a bang up job of like getting through the first wave of like talking and introducing, and then he grabs water. He's like
fucking shaking to get it to his mouth.
To get it to his fucking mouth.
Yeah. Well, he's like, why don't we all just do a shot of vodka, you know, just to take the edge off? He's like, no, Schnicky's clean. All right, he's sober. I'm playing the part.
Dude, I honestly was like,
actually.
I was so glad I watched that movie, and look, I'm seeing the same thing happen with the Seinfeld movie. By the way, I watched that the other day.
With the cereal brands.
Yeah, the Pop-Tart thing.
Okay.
Look, bottom line is like again, like I said, same thing. Not gonna win any awards in any award show ever. But is it an entertaining hour and a half of your life? Like, why do we watch TV? Why do we even turn the fucking thing on? Is it to not? Are you not entertained? Like, I mean, it doesn't have to be Gladiator every time. Sometimes
Right.
it can be fucking Jerry Seinfeld with a fucking farce idea for a Pop-Tart. That's it. Period. Ricky Stanicky, great film. You should watch. Absolutely. I do put it in the category. Dude, Alan, I still think has the fucking best good bad movie. What was it? The drummer movie? What was it called?
The Adventures of Power.
The Adventures of Power. Jesus God. Like Napoleon Dynamite meets fucking Whiplash. Like amazing.
That's good. Yeah, I like that. That's a good description of it.
Yeah. So if you haven't seen that one, see that one. If you haven't watched Ricky Stanicky, brand new, got a Prime account, free to you to watch. Go check it out.
Yeah.
Absolutely. No, I agree. Dan, good choice, Murph. Yeah, I enjoy it. I'd say when they started getting knee deep into Atlantic City and meeting, of course, when he orders the beer and the calamari, I'm like,
Your
okay,
crispy calamari.
it's like okay, I'm in now.
Before we wrap up, but seriously, like, can you wrap up? I'm gonna let Wes do this. Wes, wrap up. Put a little bow tie on John Cena, his evolution, and what he is right now as an actor.
Yeah, I like the thing of it is that okay, when he was talking to the third friend, Wes, who's gay, who basically explains to him that he told his gay partner that him. He's like, you and I dated. He's like, wait, that wasn't in the Bible. He's like, I know, but I kind of needed an out to make him feel jealous. So like, we talked earlier, and then they talked about his children's books, and then he asked him how. He's like, God, you drink so much. How do you look so good? Like, oh, steroids, so much steroids, man. And it's timing, it's delivery, it's facial expressions, it's know-how. It's knowing when to like pause. It's knowing when to look confused. It's knowing when to look surprised. His acting chops have gotten good. They've gotten like really fucking good. And will he ever be casted for like Oscar award-winning things and dramas? I doubt it. But I don't know, man. Like I'm not going to say the sky's the limit for this guy, but I think he's starting to get to the case where he could do some serious shit, in my humble opinion.
I mean, dude, have you guys watched Peacemaker? I know I've talked about it.
Peacemaker's amazing.
Yeah, it's incredible. That's a Marvel that's a role right there, dude. That guy should probably have his own movie at some point in time. Like, they went from making him the Marine when he was WWE, and I think that's really it. Like, removing yourself from WWE, driving your movies really helps. Like, I feel like it was WWE who was like, you know what, Rock, you should be the Scorpion King. And then they made that awful fucking Scorpion King. You know what I mean? And then The Rock went and made better movies. Like, John Cena has serious comedic acting chops, and people are starting to fucking recognize it now. And then you couple that with his gigantic physique and his fucking ridiculousness. Yeah.
Well, the same, like Dave Bautista, like going into Guardians of the Galaxy and having that Drax role where he's like dry funny. And see, The Rock became like a franchise of his own. Like the movie, it doesn't even matter what The Rock's in. It's just like The Rock's going to play a character and you're going to go watch it. Yeah. John Cena, I feel like he found his lane. Like, I'm a big guy you should take seriously, and I'm going to make you not take me seriously.
Yeah.
And it's such a fucking great avenue to fucking travel down.
One of the notes I made about this is, okay, at the party, it's the redhead, the guys they're having the party to circumcise his son.
Yeah,
right?
Andrew Santino's son is they're at a bris.
Yeah. So, but his mom is getting grilled by his wife's mom about do do you have any memories specifically about Ricky? She's suspicious that this guy even existed. And she was like, oh, yeah, well, he was, such a handful. He was always around when the boys were getting in trouble. And I thought to myself, I 100% could have pulled that off right now. I 100% could tell my mom, like, yeah, Brent Clark. You remember Brent? God, he used to steal Dad's diet Cokes. And Dad used to get pissed when he came down in the middle of the night and they weren't there. I'm like, oh yeah, God, I remember Brent, yeah, 100%.
Dude, best thing that ever happened to me when we were in high school. Me and Rom Tandrolonis. I mean, we used to be. We got
your fake names are the fucking worst.
or the best.
I don't know who he's talking about.
Thank you. No, like
yeah, Rom. That's our boy,
Rom Tandrolonis. What are you talking about? We did a lot of bad things, right? And one night we both ended up back at our houses, but there was some shenanigans that had happened. I can't remember all the details, but we got quote unquote found out. And so both our parents like cornered us and were like, well, where were you last night? Because I know you weren't here. Like we acted like, oh, you found us out. There was a Rancid song, and we misheard the lyrics. They were saying Jenny DeMilo. We thought they were saying Jimmy DeMilo. We were always like, Jimmy DeMilo, you don't care a thing about me. And they were like, well, whose house were you hanging out at? We're like, ah. And my mom asked me, and I said, this guy Jimmy. Jimmy who? Jimmy DeMilo. Then she called Rom's parents, and his mom answered. She's like, well, who did he say he was hanging out with? Somebody named Jimmy DeMilo.
No, you and Rom were on the same page.
We were on the same fucking page. It was the only Ricky Stanicky name that we fucking could come up with, and it fucking worked.
Jimmy DeMilo. God, that's fucking good. That's good, man. That's
yeah.
Just the fact
pre-texting too.
You don't know pre-texting. No fucking like you're cornered. It's like the cops like had you for a crime and then separated you into two different rooms, right. And they were
spotlights
and they were grilling you, and it was just like, who's the other guy? Jimmy DeMilo. Who'd he say? Jimmy DeMilo. All right, I guess your story checks out. You're free to go.